Hare Krishna. We continue reading from Caitanya Caritamrita. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Reading from Adi-Lila, chapter 5, text 29. Yadyapi kevalatan krita matra dharma tathapi jivere kripaya kare eka karma. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Although his pastimes are only characteristic functions, by his causeless mercy, he performs one activity for the fallen souls. So, for his mercy, by his mercy, he is performing this activity. And Salokya Samipya Sashti Sarupya Prakar Chari Mukti Diya Kare Jivera Nistar. He delivers the fallen living entities by offering them the 4 kinds of liberation: Salokya, Samipya, Sashti, and Sarupya. There are 2 kinds of liberated souls: those who are liberated by the favor of the Lord, and those who are liberated by their own effort. Those who get liberation by his own effort is called an impersonalist, and he merges into the glaring effulgence of the Lord, the Brahmajyoti. But devotees of the Lord who qualify themselves for liberation by devotional service are offered 4 kinds of liberation, namely Salokya, equal status to that of the Lord; Samipya, constant association with the Lord; Sashti, opulence equal to that of the Lord; and Sarupya, features like those of the Lord. So there are 2 kinds of liberation: one in which a person endeavors by himself to get liberated, and with our personal endeavor, the liberation that we get is to enter into the Brahman effulgence, to enter into the Brahmajyoti, the effulgence of the Lord. And the other type of liberation is that by engaging in devotional service, we qualify ourselves for liberation. We attract the mercy of Krishna. So that is the descending process. That's why bhakti is the descending process and Gyan is the ascending. So by attracting the mercy of Krishna, then Krishna offers 4 kinds of liberation to the devotees. One is Salokya. Salokya, living on the same planet as the Lord. Samipya, living in constant association, in proximity to the Lord. Sashti, same opulence. Imagine having equal opulence as the Lord. And Sarupya, features like of those of the Lord, means they look like the Lord, the 4-handed Narayan. So imagine if we can look like the Lord, get the wealth like the Lord, live on the same planet like the Lord. So all these are available in the Vaikuntha planets. Samipya, constant association with the Lord. So Brahma Sayujya Muktera Tahana Higati Vaikuntha Bahire Hayata Sabarastiti. Those who attain Brahma Sayujya liberation cannot gain entrance into Vaikuntha. Their residence is outside the Vaikuntha planets. So the Brahman effulgence, if I qualify myself to enter by my own endeavor into the Brahma Jyoti, into the Brahman effulgence of the Lord, then I will just be in the Brahman effulgence. I can't attain the Vaikuntha planets. I cannot enter into Vaikuntha. I can just be in the light, but not in any one of the planet, because I still do not have the qualification to enter the planet. My qualification allows me only to reach up to the Brahmajyoti. Vaikuntha Bahire Eka Jyotirmaya Mandala Krishnera Angera Prabha Parma Ujvala. Outside the Vaikuntha planets is the atmosphere of the glowing effulgence which consists of the supremely bright rays of the body of the Lord. So where will I be then? I can't enter the Vaikuntha planets. I will be in this light, in this glowing effulgence. Glowing effulgence, Jyoti Maya Mandala. And what is that? It is the rays. It's very bright. It's very, very bright, glowing effulgence, bright. And what is it? It is the rays coming from the body of Lord Krishna. That is where this Brahman effulgence is coming from. That is where this Brahma Jyoti is coming from. Siddhaloka namatara prakriti rapar chit swarup tanha nahi chik chakti vikar. That region is called Siddhalok, and it is beyond the material nature. Its essence is spiritual, but it does not have spiritual varieties. So this effulgent atmosphere, this Brahmajyoti, this effulgent bright light, it is spiritual. It is not material. It's beyond this material world. It's called Siddhalok. But what is not there is, it is does not have the variety. The spiritual varieties are not there. It is light. Everything is just light there, but there is no variety there, as we are seeing variety here in the material world. And there is variety in the Vaikuntha planets. We were hearing about the Vaikuntha planets. Surya Mandala Yena Bahire Nirvishesha Bhitare Suryera Ratha Adi Savishesha. It is like the homogeneous effulgence around the sun, but inside the sun are the chariots, horses, and other opulences of the sun god. So how can we understand it? That the light of this effulgence, there is this light coming, but the varieties is not there. The sunshine, we are seeing the sunshine, that's all around the sun planet. But when we actually enter the sun planet, we will see there is variety there. It's not that there is nothing on the sun planet and that there is just light. No, there are living entities on the sun planet. There's different, it's just they have suitable bodies to live in that atmosphere, in that fiery atmosphere. There's living entities everywhere. There are chariots, there are horses, there's other opulences of the sun god, the Surya Dev is there. So they all have a body which is suitable to live in the atmosphere of the sun. So outside of Vaikuntha, the abode of Krishna, which is called Paravyoma, is a glaring effulgence of Krishna's bodily rays. So what is outside of Vaikuntha is this Brahman effulgence. It's called the Paravyoma, and it's glaring. You know, when we try to look at the sun in the noon, it's like the sunshine is so much we can't see anything. It's just so bright like that. It's glaring, glaring. This is called the Brahmajyoti. The transcendental region of that effulgence is called Siddhalok or Brahmalok. So when impersonalists achieve liberation, they merge into that Brahmalok effulgence. So if I get perfection in my path of the Gyan, then where will I go? I will enter into this region of Siddhalok, inside this glaring effulgence, which is coming from the body of Krishna. So I'm not yet reached Vaikuntha. I'm still outside. It is spiritual. It is spiritual. There's nothing material there. Nothing material, but it is still the sky. It is the spiritual sky. This transcendental region is undoubtedly spiritual, but it contains no manifestations of spiritual activities or variegatedness. It is compared to the glow of the sun. Within the sun's glow is the sphere of the sun, where one can experience all sorts of varieties. So when we enter into the Vaikuntha planets, we will see all the varieties over there, different kinds of animals, plants, birds, trees, and those are not material forms. Those are spiritual forms. because that is the spiritual atmosphere. So the body is suited to live in that atmosphere. Here, we need a material body to be able to live in this material atmosphere. On every different planet, the atmosphere position is different. The condition of the atmosphere is different. And so the living entities on each planet have different bodily conditions suitable to live in that atmosphere. So the variety is there in the Vaikuntha planets. All sort of variety, because that is where, because there is variety in the spiritual world, we have variety in the material world. Because spiritual is on the absolute platform, so it contains everything. It has to have everything. Otherwise, it's not absolute then. So, Kama, Tveshad, Bhayad, Snehad, Yatha, Bhakti, Manaha, Aveshya, Tad, Agam, Hitva, Bhavas, Tad, Gatim, Gataha. As through devotion to the Lord, one can attain his abode. Many have attained that goal by abandoning their sinful activities and absorbing their minds in the Lord through lust, envy, fear, or affection. As the powerful sun, by its glowing rays, can purify all kinds of impurities, so the all spiritual personality of Godhead can purify all material qualities in a person. So the sun, you know, we put out things in the sun to purify them. I don't know if y'all remember, you know, at least when we were small, my granny, she would put out like all sorts of things out in the sun, you know, even the blankets, the pillows, everything, the mattresses, or put it out in the sun, let it be cleaned. And then even the grains, when they get these tiny, what do you call those? You know, those tiny black, some worms, or not worms exactly, but some things inside, then you put it out in the sun and then they all go away. And so the sun purifies everything. It purifies all sorts of impurities, makes a place pure. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he purifies us. The more we think of him, the more we get purified. We were just speaking about it in the Bhagavatam. That's the reason Krishna is saying, always think of me, for our benefit. So if one is attracted by Godhead in the mode of material lust, such attraction is converted into spiritual love of Godhead by his grace. So then, no matter what is our position, we have a lot of material desires, but we just think of Krishna. Then what happened? Gradually, he will purify us, because by associating with him, he is like that. He is all pure. So just by associating with him, by thinking of him, worshiping him, chanting his names, his glories, remembering him, worshiping his deity, offering him obeisances, you know, speaking to others about him, what happens? Our lust, which is there, it will get purified into spiritual love. And how? By his grace, by his mercy. That is a very important factor, the grace of the Lord, the causeless mercy of the Lord. Similarly, if one is related to the Lord in fear and animosity, he also becomes purified by the spiritual attraction of the Lord. Although God is great and the living entity small, they are spiritual individuals. And therefore, as soon as there is a reciprocal exchange by the living entity's free will, at once the great spiritual being attracts the small living entity, thus freeing him from all material bondage. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 7, Chapter 1, Text 30. So the Lord, he is great, is unlimited, and we living entity, we are small. The Lord is a spiritual individual, and we are also spiritual individuals. Right now we are covered in the body, but when we say we are spiritual individuals, we are speaking about our true self. Our true self. So we are the spirit souls, and God is also a spiritual entity, but he is great and we are small. But when as soon as we contact God, there's reciprocal exchange. By our free will, we are hearing about the Lord, we are chanting his name, or we are offering him worship, or some service we are doing, any small service. Then what happens is we get attracted to the Lord. At once, the great spiritual being attracts the small living entity, thus freeing him from all material bondage. Right now, we are attracted to this material world. But when we engage in devotional service, this attraction to material world changes to attraction to Krishna. This is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Is that okay? Any questions or comments? Or anything to add? If no, then we'll stop here for today. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Bol. Thank you so much for listening and joining in. Hare Krishna.